Okay, you guys, here goes my drunken Ninja Turtle Japanese cartoon review or paraphrasing. All right, so they find these crystals, these neutrino crystals under the earth or some shit. And there's some good fairy that's like, oh, I can give you ultimate power and shit. Just make sure that you're good. And they're like, oh, this is dope. Like, it looks fancy and stuff. So let's do what we do. Here we go. All right, so this power crystal, like, gives them the ability to turn into like normal people or some shit with like turtle powers or something, and gives them the ability to jump off buildings and to run away from trains and to look like Wolverine. And of course, the bad guys have a dark crystal as well, and you know why not? Because there's something in it. Here we go. So the bad guys are doing their thing. They're like, oh, it's our debut, and Krang's like, Marr! And Shredder's like, blah. And of course, they're sporting a new look. And they're like, yo, let's use the power of this stuff to like take over the world or something. So anyway, the Dark Crystal can grant them new forms and powers, make them stronger as well. So they turn into like Cell, or no, they turn into like goblins, and fucking Shredder turns into a chicken, and they're really strong. So yeah, and they get into battles with the Ninja Turtles. There we go. So, and the Turtles have this power where if they combine forces, they can summon Turtle Saint, who's like, oh, it reminds me of somebody I'm sure you guys all know from the 90s, dude. Captain Planet, right? Hey, at least it looks cool, I guess. And he can take out the bad guys easily if he's Turtle Saint. Sweet. Anyways. So the bad guys are like, hey, let's use this Dark Crystal to take over the planet, and then we'll reside to Dimension X. And the Krang's like, hey, I put the foot soldiers on vacation. And they're like, vacation? What? What are we, chop suey? And there we go, man. They're grilling, having a good time. But you know what? The foot soldiers work hard enough. I think that they earned a break. Anyways, Turtles are out and about. And they're like, yo, what are the bad guys doing right outside our lair? And they're like, oh, you turtles are fucking pieces of shit. So, and we're going to whoop your ass because Krang said that's what we got to do or whatever. And they're like, okay, let's transform. And so they use a dark crystal to turn it into something. And it looks like they're like evil as fuck. It's crazy. And then they turn into their cool goblin forms or whatever. And of course, Shredder turns into a chicken, like some dragon chicken thing. Anyway, Shredder ain't nothing to fuck with. He's like, let's fuck them up, turtle soup. And Leonardo's like, turtles, let's use our power to become fucking X-Men or some shit. And so here comes the power crystal, and they're like, yeah, we're doing our thing. Now we can defeat you because we're stronger. I use my psi power to, you know, throw it at Shredder or whatever. And Shredder's like, bitch, please, I got a button on my skull that can make this shit go away. And he's like, look at my chest, do some shit, make some tornadoes and stuff happen. And so he's like, oh, you can't defeat me because I got my fucking Digimon power on and stuff. And he's like, flies in the air and he shoots like a Kamehameha at them. And they're like, oh, fuck, what is this? And they get exploded and stuff. And they're like, I didn't know you were that strong, boss. And he's like, well, what are you waiting for? Fuck them up. And they're like, all right. So the Turtles are like, bro, these dudes are strong. And like, I thought we had the ultimate power and stuff. It's like, are we going to sit around and talk about it? And Donatello's like, here they come. And then they're like running at him and charging and stuff. And meanwhile, the Dark Crystal's like getting ready to crack and stuff because Krang's trying to hatch it. And he's like, shit's about to go down, son. And Splinter's like, bro, you better put the Joker back in the box. And Krang's like, I ain't got to do shit. And Splinter's like, well, time to break a mental sweat. Well, yeah, dude. Splinter's a badass in this show. And then all of a sudden, the crystal like hatches. Right, and then like crazy shit around the world is starting to happen. Like it's like destroying towers and like beating down your block, knocking pictures off the wall type stuff, like causing tornadoes and crazy stuff. And it causes a big ass flood in like New York, and like they're fighting and they're like, how are we gonna beat these dudes and shit? Like we're like outnumbered. No, wait, we're not outnumbered. There's 4 of us versus 3. They're just strong. And so they're like, let's get them. And the Turtles are like, we're tired. And they're like, oh shit, a wave. And then like the bad guys are like, boss? And then, very samurai pizza cats. All right. So then all of a sudden, New York City is completely flooded, dude. And then, like, the Turtles are like, well, thank God we got this pizza billboard we can fucking hang out on. And so then all of a sudden, Krang shows up. He's like, yo, check it out. I got the Dark Crystal, and I found that chick from Darkstalkers. And Darkstalker chick's like, don't make me unflap my wings. She floats up and you can see her panties. And that chick's like, you're fucked. And then The Dark Fairy's like, bada boom, bada bing, shit's happening. And then Shredder's like, man, don't make me come up there and, oh shit, I'm big now, dude. Like, you're like Rita from fucking Power Rangers, and now I'm like, Black Demon Shredder, according to the toy. That's what it's called. She's like, you're fucked. And Splinter's like, you bros are weak as fuck. He's like, oh shit, something's about to happen. You guys aren't as strong as me. Check this out. And Shredder's like, you bros are fucked. Check this out. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, and Kamehameha, dude, it's coming at you. And Splinter's like, dude, I'm a badass. I got this. Oh, I'm gonna shoot it back at you and stuff. Dude, Splinter's a freaking beast. And he's like, let me action style grab this helicopter. And so Shredder's like, I'm about to destroy the world or whatever. And Shredder's like, man, I'm a beast, dude. Let me just blow up some buildings real quick. Anyways, long story short, Shredder's like destroying the place, and then he fucking kills himself. He's like, oh, building dropped on me because I fucking shot a blast wave at it. And then this broad's like, okay, time to go into my arcade Darkstalkers mode. Catch me if you can. And so she's flying away, and they're like, let's combine powers and summon Turtle Saint. And so there they go when they're chasing after her and whatnot. And then, you know, it's cool looking. She's like, you'll never defeat me. Have a bowling ball. And then they're like, oh, bro. And then they're like, let's power up Super Saiyan 2. Boom. They got hit in the chest. And she's like, yo, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And they're like, oh, let's play some baseball real quick. And Splinter's like, he's like, you dudes better be home before the fucking street lights come on, because I'm about to order some dinner before y'all even get here. And she's like, quick, use your powers and trap the two of us back into our crystals. He's like, oh, I know what I have to do. And Splinter's like, bro, if you don't get home before the street lights are on, I'm serious. I'm ordering dinner without you. And Turtle Saint's like, ugh, I guess I gotta kill these bitches. He's like, I'm not fucking around either. You better be home. He's like, ugh. All right, let me take care of this shit real quick. I'm done fucking around. And she's like, bitch, what are you doing holding on to me? He's like, here I go with my justice sword or whatever. And so he's like, Kamehameha. Well, he waits a little bit. He's like, and it takes forever for the blast to get to him. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we're going to get turned into like our original crystal forms and shit. And he's all like, man, I better get some pizza by the time I get home because this shit is crazy. And then, boom, all of a sudden they're like crystals and shit again. And that's the end of the episode. Yeah, there we go. So make sure you share with me what your favorite part of this was and check it out.